situation. And you know, it's a really good way to help you learn how to make the best of your situation. Start being grateful. Start being grateful. Gratitude, if you allow it, will change your life. It seemed like a really good topic for Christmas Eve. This information is from Psychology Today. I really truly believe that gratitude is very important for everybody. But I think when you're dealing with health issues, I know it's hard. It's so hard. When today, today is a good example. It's been the last few days I've been in a lot of pain. I'm miserable. I have a headache. My whole body hurts. I keep having these weird knots. But you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I pulled myself together and got out of the house and went and got my nails done. Didn't want to. I'm not gonna lie. Did not want to. It's 20 below zero. I did not want to go out of the house today because I don't feel good. But you know what? I'm grateful that I went. I love the young lady who does my nails. She's an amazing woman, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for her. And her cousin and her really good friend, they all work together, and I think very highly of all three of them. And in fact, when I left to come home today, they all gave me hugs. And then, you know, maybe it's a little shallow of me. I'll own that. But I like having my nails done, and it meant a lot to me. They looked fine. I didn't need to have them done, but she's going out of town. They're going on a trip together, so there won't be anybody there next week to do my nails if I had put it off. But I'm grateful I went. I went and had fun, and I got to visit with Vicky, who's the girl who does my nails, and a lady that I'm in a leadership, I almost said club. That's not the right word. It was an invitation only leadership group, and she's in there with me. And that's funny because I was like, aren't you so and so? And she's like, yeah, aren't you Courtney? And so we started talking, and then we realized we'd seen each other in there before, but we just hadn't made the connection. But I was grateful that I went out of the house. Now, do I feel any better? No. Physically? No, I don't feel any better. But I can guarantee you I'm in a better headspace because I did go out and I did do something that makes me happy, and I was able to practice some gratitude because I really was thankful. She did a fantastic job on my nails. I was really happy. So here's some science-backed reasons why you should start practicing gratitude. Number one, it helps foster relationships. Well, certainly. We all like to be acknowledged. When you take a moment, hi Karen, Merry Christmas, honey. When you take a moment to acknowledge somebody, hey, you know, when you did that, even if it's something they didn't do for you, hey, when you did that for so-and-so, that was really nice of you. Hey, you did a great job on that presentation the other day, whatever it is. But just, actually, I went to compliments, didn't I? Crap, because that's my default. Sorry, I'm really tired. I told you I didn't feel good. Ah, shoot, that's so embarrassing. But yes, thank you. Thank you I was on the right track originally. Thank you for what you did. That was really kind of you, even if they didn't do it for you. In fact, it'll probably stick out to them a little more if you express gratitude for something they did for somebody else. But since people like to be acknowledged, when you say thank you, when you express your gratitude, it automatically makes you more likable. It's really that simple. Now keep in mind, not everybody's going to like you, but why the hell would you want everybody to? You don't like everybody, so don't worry about it. Number two, this is very important for people with health issues. Being grateful is actually good for your physical health. A 2012 study showed that people who are grateful experienced less aches and pains. Find a little irony in that tonight. But grateful people are more likely to exercise and eat well. My guess, I don't know this, I'm not an expert, I'm not a shrink, but my guess would be, just because of my experiences with gratitude, you stop taking a lot of things for granted when you start being grateful. You know, I told somebody not too long ago, sorry, it's gonna be one of them all over the place nights, but I'm not happy with the way my body looks right now. I'm not eating as well as I should. But I don't like the way it looks, and it's been a while. This is not, you know, a sudden holiday thing. But I told somebody, I can't hate my body. I gotta be grateful because my body allows me to do some really cool shit. My body allows me to hug my dad. My body allowed me to go over and physically help with my mom. Hell, my body allowed me to just hold her hand when we were coming to the end. When you start to appreciate those things, when you start to be grateful for all the, you got kids, can you hug your kids? Then you need to love your body. Your body gave you those children. Your body allows you to hug your children. You need to be grateful for that. Okay, so you're not real happy with the way it looks right now, but for goodness sakes, don't hate it. You can hate what you've done to it, but your body doesn't deserve that kind of hate. Be grateful. When you're grateful, it does make a big difference in your physical health. It's also, number 3, it's also good for your mental health. Being grateful, it really helps you deal with your negative emotions. It helps reduce your negative, well, I should restate that, uncomfortable emotions, because you know what? Hi, is it Thekla? Did I say that right? I'm sorry. Did I say that right? And I don't know what VOI means. But thank you. All of our emotions have some benefit. So instead of saying negative emotions, I really try to refer to them as uncomfortable emotions. But gratitude will help reduce those uncomfortable emotions, especially things like envy and regret and resentment. Multiple studies have linked gratitude to our overall well-being, and grateful people are just happier. Well, of course you are. When you appreciate the things around you, of course you're going to be happier. That's only logical. Number 4, grateful people are a lot less likely to be jerks, which means it should be required for everybody on social media. But people who feel grateful, if you're a grateful person, you're less likely to retaliate against somebody else. And let's be real, a lot of times when we retaliate on social media, you're just taking a swipe at an anonymous person who's probably having a really crappy day. Because I don't know about you, but when I get into those kind of situations where I'm ready to just go at somebody, I try to remember that, they're probably not having the best day, or they're probably not the happiest person. That's not to say I don't sometimes swipe at people, but I will tell you, since I've become more grateful, I used to be really bitchy online. Well, I used to be really bitchy overall, but I was bad online. And I used to go out and I'd look for fights with people. Because I was really into politics online, and that's kind of inevitable, unfortunately. But once I started being grateful, I'm still very politically minded. I still have my views. I just don't see the need to argue with anybody over it. And a lot of times, if someone tries to draw me into an argument, quite often, I'll just tell them that's an interesting perspective. Have a great night. And then I mute them and let them rant into the wind. But be grateful. Gratitude, it fosters more empathy for other people, and it eases our sense of aggression towards other people. Gratitude can improve your sleep. I think that's really interesting. But a 2011 study links a better night of sleep with a gratitude journal. Spend just a couple of minutes before you go to bed writing down things that you're grateful for. For a while I was really depressed, and my girlfriend and I would have these lengthy conversations, and we were comfortable enough with each other that we would be very much ourselves and say the things that we wouldn't say to or around most people. This sucks and that sucks and I hate. And one day she was the one who noticed it, and she's like, we're both really positive people, but these conversations have turned into they were bitch fests. So we made a rule. You could bitch as much as you wanted, get it all off your chest, but we each had to say 3 things that we were grateful for before we finished the conversation. And there were days, honestly, when I was so depressed, all I could come up with was, I have running water, I had a roof over my head, I had heat. Well, I'm about 130 miles from the Arctic Circle, about almost 200 miles by road from the Arctic Circle. having running water, I'm very well aware that that's something to be grateful for. I have people that live all around me. I'm in the, well, I'm not sure if we're the second or third largest city. We go back and forth with Juneau. But keep in mind, large cities in Alaska are not very large cities. I'm not even sure, honestly, if Fairbanks qualifies as a city, but we're going to go with it. But there's plenty of people around here who live in dry cabins. That means when it's 40 below zero, they're hanging their ass over an outhouse hole. I don't have to do that. I'm grateful for that. Alaska has entire communities that aren't on a road system. They don't have any infrastructure. What do you think happens when there's no running water, there's no infrastructure? What the hell do you think happens if your cabin catches on fire? And a lot of them are heated by wood. So it's, it happens. Fires happen a lot up here because so many people are burning wood. What the hell do you think happens when there's no running water? So if you have that, if you have a fire department at your fingertips, if you can pick up the phone and dial 911 and have somebody respond, you should be grateful for that. You should be grateful if you have a roof over your head. You should be grateful if you have heat, if you have electricity, because those things that we take so for granted, those put us ahead of millions of people on this planet. And it's stuff that we don't even think anything of. Anyway, I really get on a tangent on this because this shit's important. If you want to be happy, learn how to be grateful. And you know how you learn how to be grateful? You just start practicing gratitude. Just start writing down things that you're grateful for every day. That's it. Don't overthink it. Just 3 things you're grateful for. I'm grateful I have a roof. I'm grateful I have a job. I am grateful I have good insurance. I'm grateful I have a great doctor. I'm grateful I have good friends. I'm grateful for whatever the hell you're grateful for. And it doesn't matter if your journal starts out with the same 3 things every day. It's like any other habit. You got to practice it. You got to practice feeling grateful for stuff, and it'll grow. It'll be easier the more time you spend doing it. This is going to sound really nuts, but on days when I'm in a lot of pain and I'm exercising, because I refuse to let this stuff control my life any more than it already has. And exercise is really good for my situation, for almost everybody's. But like this morning, I hurt really damn bad today, really bad, and it's been that way since before I woke up. I know because my heart rate didn't drop while I was sleeping very much. But as much as it hurt, I was grateful that I'm capable of getting my ass out of bed. I'm capable of making the decision to exercise. I am capable of the physical activity of exercise. There's a lot of people out there who aren't. There's a lot of people out there with the same health issues that I have who aren't capable of that. Hell, I wasn't capable of that really at one point. I could barely do 10 minutes on a Wii Fit at one point. I'm grateful. I am so grateful that I found a love for exercise. You've got to be grateful for the good things in your life. You've got to. You know what else gratitude does for you? Boost your self-esteem. What? No, it really does. A 2014 study in the Journal of Applied Sports Psychology showed that gratitude increased confidence in athletes, which of course is very important for sports performance. Other studies show it helps curb social comparisons. Grateful people are appreciative. They're not envious of someone else's accomplishments. That actually, honestly, that was one of the times when I realized that, sorry, I'm itchy, that I had come a long way with my attitude. Was a friend of mine accomplished something that I'd really like to do. I'll be honest. I'd love to do it. And I could do it. I just have chosen for whatever reasons not to. But instead of being envious for her, I was really proud of her and I was so excited for her. And that was like, that's a big moment for me. Yes! I am not saying that I am a perfect person. I still fall prey to that. But, try to be grateful when someone else does well. Someone else doing well, it doesn't dim your shine. It really doesn't. And finally, boy, I'm kind of all over the place, but hey, if you're a regular, you know that. Most of my people are on Twitter, and so you know me. Gratitude increases our mental fortitude. Numerous studies have shown gratitude has a tremendous impact on overcoming traumas. If you're dealing with health issues, if you're up to your freaking eyeballs in health issues, you've got emotional trauma. I guarantee it. You may not want to admit it. You may not think of yourself that way, but you do. Sorry, but you do. But you know, when things are the hardest, when things are the darkest for me, it's the things that I'm grateful for. When I can cling on to something that I'm grateful for, it helps keep the depression at the worst of the depression at bay. I'll be honest, I've been pretty depressed this winter. From, it's this is our first holiday season without my mom. My mom loved Christmas. This is brutally hard for all of us. But what are you going to do? I'm grateful. Dad and I were having I shouldn't have started this. Dad and I were having a conversation about grief the other day. And I said, well, here's how I look at grief. Yes, it sucks. And part of me would give anything to take that pain away. But the flip side is, grief to me is a sign of love. If I didn't love my mom, if my dad didn't love my mom, we wouldn't miss her very much. Grief shows you how grateful you were for the person. I'm grateful for the memories. I had a good mom. I had a cool mom. And of course, I didn't appreciate her enough when she was still here, because I don't think any of us really do. If my choice is between dealing with this grief versus and having these memories versus not dealing with this grief and not having any of those memories, I mean, come on, y'all, that's an easy. I'm not good at math. Even I can do that flipping equation. It's worth it. It's worth it to have the love that we shared, all the lessons that she taught me. I'm grateful for all that stuff. I wish she was still here, but I'm really grateful that I had a cool mom for 52 years. That's more than a lot of people get. You gotta be grateful. I really didn't mean for that to turn so depressing, but I'm not the only person grieving this holiday season. If that's where you're at, accept it. Don't try to push your feelings aside because it's Christmas. I always get really damn melancholy at Christmas. I have for years, for a multitude of reasons. But boy, this is the most bittersweet Christmas I've ever faced. But you know what? As much as it sucks, I'm really grateful that I'm going to spend Christmas with my dad. And I'm making him dinner. I'm going to make a prime rib. And I'm going to make, I think I'm going to make a Brussels sprout dish that I found with, I love cranberries, with cranberries and pecans and balsamic vinegar. And that's totally my kind of thing. I'm going to make mashed sweet potatoes. I'm going to take over some cranberry. I told you I love cranberries. I'm going to take over cranberry. I keep wanting to say cranberry banana, and I don't know why. Cranberry pecan brownies and some vanilla ice cream. But it was really sweet. I ran into a friend of my folks the other day at the grocery store, and she told me that my dad's been telling everybody, Courtney's coming over to make me dinner. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I am going to go over there and make dinner for him, and I'm grateful that it's making him happy. And I'm grateful that we have each other to get through the day. Is it going to be a hard day? Yes. But what's my choice? I'd rather have the memories and the grief than not have the grief and not have the good memories. So anyway, I am going to go. I hope you'll have a wonderful Christmas. Have a great weekend, and I will be back Monday at 5 o'clock Alaska time. Thanks. Good night.